Good morning, everyone. I am Kimberly Ferrando from the Faculty of Education, University of the Philippines Open University.
And I am John Leonard Berdeos from the University of the Philippines Diliman College of Education.
Together, we are your hosts for Day 1 of the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education. On behalf of all the organizers, we are delighted to welcome you to this event.
To our viewers on the live streams on the UPOU networks, website, and UPOU Facebook page, a warm welcome to you all.
The NRC SME serves as a platform for scholars under the Capacity Building Program in Science and Mathematics Education to share insights, foster collaboration, and build networks across regions.
This year's conference, with the theme Community Engagement and Partnerships in STEM Education, Strengthening Impact and Relevance, is organized by the Department of Science and Technology Science Education Institute in collaboration with the National Consortium in Graduate Science and Mathematics Education.
This conference is also made possible through the efforts of our 3 partner universities: the Ateneo de Manila University, University of the Philippines Diliman College of Education, and University of the Philippines Open University. And of course, we acknowledge the invaluable presence and participation of all 16 of our member universities.
With everyone's support, we have an exciting program planned today, filled with insightful sessions, engaging discussions, and valuable networking opportunities. We trust that this conference will provide a platform for learning and collaboration to further initiatives and innovations in pedagogy, practice, and scholarship in STEM education. To officially begin, may I request everyone to rise for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by the doxology.
You may now take your seat. And now, to formally open the 11th NRC SME, may we have Professor Joanne V. Serrano, the Chancellor of the University of the Philippines Open University, on stage for her welcome remarks.
Isang maalab at mapagpalayang araw sa ating lahat. To our distinguished DOST Director, J.L.S. Cornelio, our guest, Mr. Menelos Sotiro, members of the different universities, partner institutions, members of the scientific and academic community, scholars, teachers, students, and fellow advocates of science and mathematics education, welcome to the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the Science and Nature City of Los Baños, a place that continues to inspire scientific inquiry, innovation, and community collaboration. Allow me first to extend my heartfelt thanks to DOST-SEI, to the UPOU Faculty of Education, the UP Diliman College of Education, and Ateneo de Manila University for organizing this very important event. This year's theme, Community Engagement and Partnerships in STEM Education, Strengthening Impact and Relevance, challenges us to go beyond the walls of our classrooms and laboratories. It invites us to see that the true measure of scientific advancement is not only in innovation itself, but in how that innovation makes a real impact on the lives of Filipino people, how it empowers local communities, strengthens resilience, and builds a sustainable future for all. This year's theme, Community Engagement and Partnership in STEM Education, deeply resonates with the work and vision of UPOU. At UPOU, we have long believed that education must extend beyond classrooms and into communities, that learning becomes truly transformative when it is open, inclusive, and collaborative. And as we exchange research findings and best practices in the next 2 days, may we also rediscover what makes our work truly transformative: the human connection that bridges science with society and theory with real-life experiences. May this conference inspire each of us to continue building bridges between disciplines, between institutions, and most importantly, between education and the communities that give it meaning. Once again, I thank you for your dedication and commitment to advancing science and mathematics education. Together, let us make STEM a catalyst for innovation, inclusion, and meaningful change. Maraming salamat at welcome sa Los Baños.
Thank you, Chancellor Serrano, for your warm welcome and welcoming message. Your words have set a positive and engaging tone for the conference. Now we also have a video message from Father Roberto C. S.J., the President of the Ateneo de Manila University, for his welcome remarks.
Welcome to the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education. This year, we are emphasizing the role of collaboration, engagement, and partnership building in advancing STEM education. STEM serves as a cornerstone in our pursuit of a just, equitable, and sustainable future with scientific breakthroughs and technological innovations shaping the world we live in. This conference serves as a vital platform for exchanging ideas and best practices, providing opportunities to gain diverse perspectives and establish meaningful connections. It is reassuring to note that more than 400 graduate students are presenting their papers on STEM learning strategies, teaching skills, and the development of instructional materials for print and digital formats. On behalf of Ateneo de Manila University, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Department of Science and Technology Science Education Institute and the National Consortium in Graduate Science Mathematics Education for their unwavering commitment to fostering STEM teaching, learning, and research. We are also grateful to our host university, UP Open University, and our co-host, UP Diliman. To our conference participants, congratulations. As you engage in the activities, I encourage you to apply what you learn and find inspiration to do more. broaden and deepen your knowledge and perspectives in STEM. Your contributions can create positive change and develop solutions to society's most pressing challenges. I wish you success in this vital work and hope that the insights and connections you gain from this conference help advance STEM education. May your efforts lead to meaningful progress for your schools, communities, and the nation.
Thank you, President Yap, for those wonderful welcome remarks. We will definitely keep your message in mind as we navigate these 2 days of the conference. Now, let us listen to the video welcome message of Director Emelita P. Bagsit, Director of the Department of Science and Technology, Region 4A.
Isang makaagham na umaga sa ating lahat. It is truly inspiring to know that this conference brings together so many passionate, curious, and driven minds from across the country. On behalf of the Department of Science and Technology, Calabarzon, welcome to the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education. To our more than 300 graduate scholars and educators joining us from different parts of the country, congratulations for being here. This moment is a testament to your commitment to learning, to discovery, and to shaping a better future for science and mathematics education in the Philippines. When I think about the many scholars, educators, and researchers gathered for this event, I see dreamers, problem solvers, and change makers. Each of you carries questions that can reshape how our students think, learn, and engage with the world. And that is truly powerful. At DOST, we often say that innovation begins with curiosity. That simple spark of asking, what if? How we make this better? The spark is what drives research forward. And when you bring that curiosity into education, you don't just build knowledge, you build possibility. So as you share your work, exchange ideas, and learn from each other over the next few days, I encourage you to keep your sense of wonder alive. Don't be afraid to explore new directions, to question the usual, or take risks with your ideas. Research is not about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to keep asking the right questions. Let this conference remind us that science and mathematics are not just disciplines. They are languages of understanding, empathy, and progress. And through your works, you help make that language more accessible to every learner, every community, and every generation that comes after us. To the organizers, partner institutions, and everyone who made this event possible, thank you for creating a space where passion meets purpose. Once again, welcome to the 11th NRC SME and a warm welcome from Laguna, where the energy of Mount Makiling and the warmth of our hot springs remind us that great ideas often flow from both passion and rest. May this day spark new collaborations, new insights, and new energy to keep pushing the frontiers of learning and discovery. Muli po, maraming salamat, and I hope you all have an inspiring and empowering conference ahead.
Thank you, Director Bagsit, for your encouraging words. Your message truly resonates with all of us as educators who continue to work towards upliftment of STEM education in our society.
This year's NRC SME, along with all of its previous iterations, is graciously organized by the DOST-SEI. It is through this event that scholar educators from all parts of the country are able to share and collaborate on various ideas to strengthen the state of STEM education. Now, may we call on Dr. Jael S. Cornelio, Director 4 of the Department of Science and Technology, Science Education Institute, for his opening remarks.
Magandang umaga po. Pwede niyo po bang tapikin yung katabi ninyo at pakisabi sa kanya in the sweetest way possible, good morning. I was just asking everyone to say hello to your seatmate. So good morning to you, our guests. Ayan. So mga educators naman tayo, we're all educators here, so we can be relaxed, we can be chill, and I'm hoping that the rest of our conference will not be uptight, but instead it will be outstanding and at the same time relaxed and an opportunity for us to really just get to know each other, learn from one another. Magandang umaga po muli sa ating lahat. Kamusta kayo? Malungkot. Taas ng energy, ano po? Being with you today is important to me for two reasons. First, we are in the company of the best teachers in our country. Totoo, the best yung katabi mo. Okay? Walang naniniwala, ano? Naniniwala? Naniniwala? Right? Bakit? Bakit? Listen. After all, in this place are graduate students and their mentors who come from the most established teacher education institutions in the Philippines. And that's true. And for that reason, I want to acknowledge one of the most important mentors who have mentored so many of us here, Dr. Bio, the previous director of the Science Education Institute, na sobrang ganda niya ngayon. I commended her for being with us. Thank you, ma'am. And for, obviously, you have mentored so many people here beyond SEI. Klarong-klaro that you are now still a mentor to many people, especially at West Visayas State University. Damo, gid nga salamat, ma'am. Like you, like Dr. Bio, I am also an educator, and I am eager to listen to what you have to say from your own research and experience. That we are here in Los Baños, doing it here, makes this moment far more significant for me. Bakit? At UP Open University, SEI has supported from the very start 193 PhD scholars. And the whole, UPOU pa lang yun. And for the whole of Region 4A, Calabarzon, you will be pleased to know that our institute, SEI, has supported since 1958, 26,378 scholars, 8,882 of whom are undergraduates right now. The photo you see is from the recent run of our leadership camp for our undergraduate scholars. Hopefully, marami sa inyo ang makasama rin sa leadership camp para sa ating mga CBP SME scholars. That's the first reason, professional. The other reason is more personal. Next week, I am celebrating my first year as the director of SEI. A role that has taught me many things about how difficult life can be in the government. Kasi galing nga ako sa Ateneo, na private sector, mababait ang mga tao. Mababait din naman ang tao sa government, but sometimes not everybody is ganun. That taught me a lot of things about government work, but also the joys of reaching the farthest islands in the country. As some of you might know, SEI has embarked on a series of strategic engagements in 3 critical regions. In Eastern Visayas, where we are introducing a series of interventions in 4 schools. Magsisimula na tayo this year ng needs assessment at baseline data gathering. We are also present right now, strategically, in the Caraga region, where we are addressing the problem of teacher mismatch and helping our teachers all the way to the classroom. This is a particularly important photo for me. Kami ni Belle, nila Laika, nila Tita Cynthia. My colleagues from SEI, just say hello to everyone. And the most beautiful women. Magkakasama kami sa Butuan, Surigao, Dinagat, and Siargao. We visited the schools where our teacher partners are based, and we visited their classrooms. And this was an important moment for me kasi it was so spontaneous. We were not supposed to talk to the students, but the students just warmed up, cozied up to us, and just like that, nagkaroon na kami ng quick conversation about DOST-SEI, scholarship, and that girl over there, she strikes me to this day kasi of all of them, usually, di ba, when you ask students, ano yung mga pangarap ninyo, they would say, we dream to become what? Lawyers, teachers, engineers, the usual gamut. She wants to be a neuroscientist. Butuan National High School. So yung mga ganyang klaseng, kaya nga I keep saying that the role of SEI as an institute is to deepen, to widen, to heighten the aspirations of our kids because we can support them all the way hanggang PhD. You are the testimony to that. Finally, we are also in the 3 island provinces of Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, where our aspiration is to increase the number of scholars and at the same time support their college faculty to pursue MS and PhDs in niche areas including aquaculture, fisheries, and oceanography. We are serious about Basulta for the simple reason that right now, there are only 6 scholars on these 3 island provinces. 6 undergraduate students, scholars, 3 probinsya. We can do better. Surely, we can do better. Reaching the farthest areas. Kaya mahalaga sa akin ng conference na to, 2 reasons. One is professional. We are all teachers. We are each other's people. The other reason is personal. The joys and challenges of teaching. I think these 2 reasons capture why we are all here together for the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education. In the next 2 days, you will be spending time, quality time, I hope. You may enjoy the swimming. Are they allowed to enjoy the swimming pool? They're allowed to enjoy the swimming pool. So you can talk about your research while doing your backstroke, no? What are you working on now? Oh, I'm doing this. Now, professionally, learn from each other. Personally, discover the joys that keep you afloat as educators in a country that deals with much suffering, from the crisis in education to the crisis brought about by people who only think of themselves. You know what I'm talking about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow teachers, is why this conference calls on all of us to continuously think about suffering and how we can strengthen our impact and relevance everywhere we go. All of us here have chosen the path of teaching not because we wanted to be rich. Wala namang nagti-teacher kasi gusto niyang yumaman. Meron na po bang mayaman sa atin? Wala, di ba? All of us here, I don't know, maybe si Doc Volts ng Lasal, no? Right? All of us here have chosen the path of teaching because we believe that we can make a difference in the lives of our students. And that's true. To this day, I really miss being back in the classroom. But maybe I have a bigger classroom as SEI director. And in the company of our students, my dear friends, we encounter both joy and many challenges that sometimes break our hearts too. We are reminded that the pressing issues in Philippine education, such as low learning outcomes, unequal access, and the need to strengthen problem-solving skills and critical thinking demand more than just academic inquiry. Through meaningful engagement with communities, gaya ng pinakita ko sa inyo sa Basulta, sa Caraga, sa Eastern Visayas, our work as researchers, our work as scholars become tools that effectively contribute to enhancing STEM education and broaden and widen the possibilities for our children, ensuring that our work hours as teachers are really felt by every Filipino. Ngayon sa DOST, yung mantra natin, agham na ramdam. Science that is deeply felt in the everyday lives of Filipinos. And this is where the theme of our 11th NRCSME takes deeper meaning, my friends. We are called to synergize our strengths, our perspectives, and resources to help our students, their families, and communities. The conference today reminds us that progress is not built by individuals working alone, but by communities working together. Are you still with me? A single professor may spark curiosity, but it takes a village to widen it. A researcher may design solutions, but only partnerships can take them forward. May our conference be an opportunity to grow as educators, researchers, and collaborators. Ngayon, gusto kong pasalamatan ang lahat ng mga tao, our partners. So just bear with me. This is for the people who work behind the scenes. UPOU Chancellor John Serrano, tinatawag ko na siyang pinsan kasi pareho kaming Serrano. My middle name is Serrano, she's a Serrano. Thank you. Dr. Dean Cha Reyes, a friend of mine. And the University of the Philippines Open University team. Kaway-kaway po, UPOU. Wala pong kumakaway. I'm sure mas marami po sa amin. UPOU, our conference host. And to our co-host, Dr. Paeng Guerrero, my colleague and friend from Ateneo, and the team at the Ateneo de Manila University, and Dr. Maria Nympha Joaquin, si Ma'am Nympha, and the team at the University of the Philippines College of Education. Thank you po for your vision, dedication, and hard work in organizing this conference dito sa Calabarzon. To the project leaders, faculty members, and project staff under the National Consortium of Graduate Science and Mathematics Education, isa-isahin ko yung mga universities na ito. Alphabetical para walang samaan ng loob. Simulan natin sa Ateneo de Manila University, Bicol University, Cebu Normal University, Central Luzon State University, De La Salle University, Leyte Normal University, Mariano Marcos State University, Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology, Mindanao State University Marawi, Philippine Normal University, St. Mary's University, UP College of Education, tuloy-tuloy lang po yung palakpak, UP Open University, University of San Carlos, Western Mindanao State University, at West Visayas State University. Ay, grabe, ibang level ng WIBSU. Okay. Your presence here affirms the value of partnerships as we put our efforts and energies together to strengthen and deepen the impact of STEM education sa bansa natin. To our partners sa DOST Calabarzon, to City Mayor Honorable Neil Nocon and the Local Government Unit of Los Baños, Laguna, salamat, 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 salamat. Finally, to my team at SEI. SEI, mga nasa likod. Usually, ang direktor ang pinasasalamatan, but I keep telling to everyone na hindi direktor ang dapat pasalamatan. Yung mga tao po gumagawa ng mga documents, yung mga nagpaproseso, yung mga tumatanggap ng mga documents, sila yon. Ang role lang ng isang direktor ay pumirma. At magpa-charm like this, no? If at all, no? In closing, okay, here we are. In closing, I cannot emphasize the significance of the work that we do. Are you still with me? I cannot emphasize the importance of the work that we do as teachers, as educators. As I have already indicated above, we are confronted with crisis on every front. From the crisis of education to the crisis of corruption in the deepest trenches of the government. And it's personal to me kasi pera yun eh. I will even dare say that crisis defines the times in which our young people are growing up. I know that our work is not easy, and on some occasions, the work itself is not the problem. Sometimes we encounter people who wish to pull us down for one reason or another. A reality that I'm still trying to understand in my role now at SEI. But in the spirit of hope, collegiality, and partnership, I urge you as my fellow educators to not give up. Every bit of the work we do, from planning your lessons to teaching in the classroom to marking your papers and talking to the students, every bit of it is worth doing. Why? As educators, you and I have a mission to fulfill for the people today, for our young people today. Be reminded of what the philosopher and educator Paulo Freire has to say about transformative education. Education does not change the world. Education changes people. People change the world. To my fellow educators, damo gid nga salamat. Salamat kaayo. Maraming salamat for being here. Go, enjoy the conference, and then change the world. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Director Cornelio, for your encouraging words and for concretizing how we deepen, heighten, and widen our aspirations through this research conference. Your constant support is very much appreciated and will definitely guide us all as we participate in this conference. Now, before moving on to the next part of our program for today, let us take a few minutes to acknowledge our organizers, host university, and partner universities for this year's 11th NRC SME. We'll also take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of all 16 member universities of the National Consortium in Graduate Science and in Mathematics Education. Would like to invite everyone to join our photo opportunity, but please stay put. To all of our live viewers, please be informed that we will just have a photo opportunity here at the venue, and we request our photographers to position themselves on the stage for the taking of the photo.
From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. The enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. the enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative.
And gentlemen, we now come to our first plenary session. It is my pleasure to call on stage the moderator for this session, Dr. Voltaire M. Mestades. Dr. Mestades is an associate professor and the chairperson of the Department of Science Education, De La Salle University, and is also the project director of the Capacity Building Program in Science and Mathematics Education.
Good morning. It is my distinct honor to introduce our first plenary speaker. Mr. Menelaus Soteriou is a science writer and communicator with several years of international work experience. Currently, he is working in the field of science communication with his main research focus being the communication of scientific research to the wider public. He is the president of Science View, an organization that aims to sustain science journalism in Greece and promote science communication activities. The pioneering work that he does in Science View advances science and mathematics education by being instrumental in fostering interdisciplinary collaboration and innovation. Through his leadership in developing communication programs and inclusive technology-enabled delivery systems, he has offered a valuable model for other nations to promote STEM education through community engagement. Fellow educators, let us warmly welcome Mr. Menelaus Soteriou.
A great privilege, and I'm very much honored to stand in this on this stage. I would like to thank the Dean of the Faculty of Education that contact me and invite me in this really great event. I'm really impressed from the organization up to now. So I was invited to speak about STEM and STEAM. You are going to realize why I'm referring mostly to STEAM as an approach in order to engage and try to have a really interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary approaches in education. We are working many years with schools, mostly in Greece, from where I come from, and actually it's I will have to point somewhere, or okay, it started. So it is really far away, actually. I try to draw a line in Google Earth, but Athens is lost somewhere there, while Philippines is almost something more than 9,700 kilometers away. But still, I think the STEAM approaches that we are following there and also in Europe, and you are following here, is unique. And I will explain why I consider this as a unique to the students mostly, where at least from our part, our side, we are targeting, but of course for the facilitators, as we used to call them in our, let's say, engagement activities, which are the teachers. Because we consider that, of course, teachers are most important role, but in our approach, they should act as facilitators and not to just act as teaching. As we closed the previous session with a quote from a philosopher, I would like to state that our leading, actually, quote comes also from a philosopher, Fuller, which said that if you want to start the young people start thinking and doing things in a new way, you cannot teach them. You should involve them, engage them in activities in order to learn how to create this new way of thinking. ScienceU is an organization that we have created back in 2008. I'm working in the field of education, science education and communication. I find really very much connection when you are talking about communicating things in students and teachers with science education and science communication. I'm working in the field since 2003, but we found that it would be back then necessary to create this institution, ScienceU, where we started working with schools, closely with schools, in order to engage them to activities. Back then, STEM mainly activities, in order to start working and creating new approaches. So this is what we are doing with several of the activities that are included here, like workshops, summer schools, either for students or for teachers. But we are trying with them as collaborators to create new approaches and implement them within their educational settings. And this is the difficult thing, because, of course, educational systems are varying from country to country, but they have some same, I think, issues to deal with, like time constraints from structures that exist, and so on. So we are trying to slowly integrate these approaches in the most suitable way for them to start developing their activities in their classrooms. We have created in the last almost 8 years some self-reflection tools which help the school units to learn and guide them on how to integrate this kind of activities in their settings. These self-reflection tools are considered as the first step, and I will explain. If I'm not moving it, we can go to the next slide. This is also policies that comes from international organizations like OECD, that is really trying to integrate this in their policies, their guidelines for institutions to follow, especially for young people. So we see in several papers, several reports that they consider STEAM as a great opportunity and a great vehicle to start working with young students in order to offer them a multidisciplinary approach that creates and develops certain important skills for the future citizens, actually. And also it based in already existing, of course, you have been experienced, I think, in several of these approaches like project-based activities and so on. But STEAM is trying to work as a transdisciplinary approach, so mixing all these disciplines in a common effort. So by this, and I will explain in my later slides, how we are working with this multidisciplinary way in projects that we are developing. Coming here, I was just curious about how we are standing both in Greece and Philippines in certain evaluations that we are having through the PISA evaluation. So, and I saw that we are standing more or less in the same level. That I would say that even with the efforts, at least that we are doing in Greece, this is not good, actually, results. We might be proud of the activities that we are developing. We might be proud of new approaches that we are thinking out of research activities and so on. But unfortunately, for some reasons, I'm not saying that these approaches and these projects in both countries are not having a good result or impact, but for some reasons, internationally, we are standing both under the average of OECD evaluations. And this might be something that we need to consider. I know that there are a lot of discussions how PISA is evaluating things and so on. This is also in our country, but still this is something that we need to consider in our approaches. So I'm just demonstrating this concerning issues that we might face, common issues that we might face in both countries. So the answer that we have gave right now, after some years of investigating, researching, implementing activities, is this approach. We have developed for some years now an approach that we call STEAM Ideas Square, where all the stakeholders around the schools coming together, expressing their ideas, collaborating, and start working in common efforts. This might be projects, this might be small or large activities, but the issue is that we are considering the school unit in even in the smallest village in Greece, or the most isolated area, region in Greece. We consider it as a hub of knowledge, where all the stakeholders around the school are working together. And by stakeholders, I don't actually mean only the main actors in all this approach, which are of course the school leaders, the teachers, students, but we consider very important parents, we consider very important stakeholders, the businesses that are around the school, local authorities, and any other stakeholder that might be that the school might have an impact on that. So we bring all them together in a small or large efforts from the school. The school is actually trying to integrate issues that the local community is facing, and they are trying, students with the facilitators, the teachers, trying to give solutions. We have seen a lot of activities in not only in Greece but in many other countries that we have with collaborators, European countries that with collaborators we have tested this. We have seen that the school unit is giving back solutions to the community that is really important for several fields. For instance, environment. They are trying to give solutions after investigating, following all these STEAM approaches, inquiry-based learning and so on, project-based learning, and all these approaches that comes together in this integrated approach. And they are giving solutions, for instance, for waste management, for environmental issues, other environmental issues, for watering fields where the farmers had issues that facing difficulties. So this is actually based in the integration of two specific models that exist. One of it exists for many years. The other one is starting, let's say, since early after 2015 or 17, the design thinking approach and the inquiry-based science education approach. It's the integration of these two issues, of these two methods. The design thinking in education, because design thinking, if someone searches about this approach, it comes from the business world. So how I'm going to create the best possible product, and it is fulfilling the needs of the user and so on. But for several years have been translated somehow and integrated in schools, school education. So we are following a four-step approach for the design thinking that have the following steps: feel, imagine, create, and share. So the school needs somehow to feel. That means to be open in order to recognize certain issues around the community, imagine a solution. Here comes mainly the inquiry-based approach, where in order to imagine, you have to question things, you have to search about solutions and so on. And when you imagine it, after that, you are creating the solution and you share it with your local community around the school. So this is mainly the approach of design thinking. What this makes, it makes that the students are starting collaborating, so start their research adventure from their student years. That is important. You know better concerning research, but creates several and develops several skills that are important for the future citizens, or future researchers, or future teachers. So they are creating and developing skills that are probably also outside our main target as science teachers or mathematics or in any way STEM teachers, because it develops critical thinking, it develops collaboration, it develops team working, what we might call soft skills, let's say, if you have heard about. So at the same time, not only trying to create all the opportunities to make the student interested and motivated to work with STEM fields, but at the same time creates the opportunities and all the background in order to develop these soft skills that are very much important for our communities. Also like empathy, that it is not so much developed, let's say, in our days. But STEAM Ideas Square and STEAM could also act as a leadership incubator. This is because if you try to see all this, no, you can go back. Anyway, if you try to see all the fields of STEAM, it leads to the development, or at least it is a major factor for the development of certain competencies, like critical thinking, technologies, develop competencies in digital tools, arts, that I'm going to speak in a while, because we consider it a very important field in this approach. Develops empathy, and so on. So if you see this model, actually STEAM education could also develop the needed skills for the future leaders, for the future citizens that will be in the appropriate way to lead certain sectors. And here is where the art comes. In order to motivate students to start creating an interest in fields of STEM, you need to somehow make them interested to start working with these fields. And what we have found the last at least 12 years is that when you are integrating art activities, and in our case performing arts, they may be able to start working even if they never or they didn't want to be involved in physics lessons or chemistry lessons. They consider them boring, they consider them difficult, and so on. They start working with them. And how? Because they are they are feeling much more comfortable in order to create a performance around a physical phenomenon, or to create a performance around mathematics. And there comes an approach that we have developed back in 2012, 2013, that we name learning science through theater, with, of course, collaborators from many other countries, but mainly we are implementing this for more than 12 years now in Greece, with students and teachers be involved in order to start creating their own performance within their classroom, but at the same time they are doing, for instance, physics lessons, they are doing mathematics, they are doing technology or engineering, and so on. So involving several fields from the STEM approach. The main issue here is that all these students and teams are working within their schools and inspired by their curriculum. So if you are in the first grade of the secondary school and you have a certain curriculum that you need to be taught in physics, you are taking a part of it and start working with it in order to create a performance. Our vision is to establish an innovative framework for the school teachers and the school units and start working with. And also to enable, as you can see, the educators to be able to integrate this into their school settings. And this is the difficult part up to now. But in recent years, there are also several reports that leading to this road. If we can click 3 times. Okay. So there are several reports, guides from OECD, from the European Commission, and also from certain funded activities in the European Union, where we see these lines indicated in this report. So especially the recent one of this year from the European Commission concerning the STEM strategy that European countries should follow is indicating specifically these factors as the most important to start working with STEM. So it is really a pleasure that at least the European Commission is start integrating these ideas in their reports and their guides. But also there are efforts like the last one on your right, that it was actually, because it finished in last August, a project Road Steamer, where the aim was to create a roadmap about STEM education in European Union, to investigate all the needs, to investigate all the activities and provide a roadmap for institutions, either in the school education or universities, how they should follow activities, and of course to consult and give advices and to the European Commission on how and where they should fund these activities. It is also important because it is important to have the opportunities to work with activities, but of course in all levels you will need some money. So the European Commission asked from certain consortia to advise on how and where they should fund activities. So it is also important that these documents are following actually or integrating in their recommendations this vision. As I told you, it is a journey. This is how we consider it. It is a journey that we have started back in 2013, 2014, and includes several steps, as you can see, where we are trying to develop and integrate many aspects in our approach, because we do not consider that we are thinking of an approach back in 2014 and we still need to follow the same approach in 2025. So we are integrating, we update all the efforts, we reconsidering some things, and we are concluded with activities that are supporting this STEAM Ideas Square approach. And this is one of the main activities that is leading these ideas, is the learning science through theater approach that I was speaking earlier. So what we would like to achieve as realizing this approach is in both, let's say, the students and the teachers. We would like to achieve we have specific targets and objectives, and we would like to achieve them. And for sure, for the main targets and objectives that we would like to achieve for the students is all these competencies that are very much important for us. Of course, to better understand and learn scientific notions or STEM notions. But as I already told you, to develop all these skills that we consider very important, like collaboration, how they can work in an interdisciplinary field, and so on. But for teachers, it is also important to start working with them in order to provide them with capacity building activities. So we have developed a lot of professional development courses where teachers are attending in order to provide them with the competencies needed in order to support their teachers. So we are organizing a lot of workshops, organizing courses, summer schools, winter schools. We have created a community of teachers around Europe, and all this is coming in an exchange because teachers are coming from several parts of Europe. They are coming together, they are exchanging their knowledges, how it works in that educational system, how it works in Greece, and they are coming into a dialogue in order to support and maybe bring new ideas back in their school settings. Yes. So, as I told you, the approach that we are using, the main approach is the design thinking. In this form, in the Feel, Imagine, Create, Share steps, it was created back in 2017, 18, where we were working in the first open schooling project that European Commission had funded. It was called Open Schools for Open Societies. And we created a model there and a roadmap on how this approach, the design thinking approach with these specific steps, could be integrated into school units in order to work as an open school. This is how I explained earlier on how we are working with these 4 steps, actually, and we can go in the next. Yes. And here is how we connect, how we have already connected the inquiry-based science education model with the design thinking steps. Of course, you can see the 𝐒𝐝 model, the inquiry-based science education model. You can see it in several forms. You might have seen it in 5 steps. You might have seen it in 4 steps. We were using a more detailed let's say, steps, but it is the same, actually. The question, the evidence, the analysis, then you called to explain all these, to connect them, communicate, and reflect. So, if we could click one, yeah, okay. You will see how we have connected them. Of course, all these are explained in frameworks and guidelines for the teachers to have as a reference. So the first two steps, let's say, of the 𝐒𝐝 model is actually the feel part of the design thinking. So within the feel part of the design thinking, we are asking from the students to start investigating, to start asking questions, of course with the support of the teacher, and to try to collect evidence in order to understand the area that they are working with. Then in the analyze and explain is the imagine step, where all these resources that they have gathered, they are starting analyzing them, starting to explain them, and imagine a possible solution that they can work with. The connect is the create, so they are developing their ideas. They might go back, change some things, come again and create a final solution. And then they share it with their local communities. So this is how we connect these two models in a certain circle, as I told you, in order to involve all these stakeholders. Apart from the school, we have public authorities, parents, industry, creative industry, if you are going to work with art, businesses, universities, of course, research institutions around the school. And how these work, especially, as I told you, in the performing, if you are mixing performing arts, this is all the competencies that we are achieving if we are implementing this model, this approach. We have creative and critical thinking, interdisciplinary knowledge, cooperation and communication, technological literacy, research and exploration skills, artistic and creative expressions, and adaptability and resilience. All these competencies, of course, are in line with OECD's recommendations for fostering students' creativity. And this is how we are trying to approach in all efforts that we are made. We are trying to connect, to be in line with certain acceptable international or European reports and guides and strategies. So this approach is fulfilling all these latest recommendations from international organizations. In the last 12 years, especially in this initiative that is following the STEAM Ideas Square, we have involved more than 360 schools around Greece. more than 6,500 students and more than 650 teachers, mainly coming from Greece. Of course, you might be, let's say, wonder why I have other countries, because this is already expanded in other countries, testing how this kind of initiative and the approach could be realized and integrated in their educational settings and structures. So we have worked with Finland, Germany, Norway, Netherlands, Malta, in order to start integrating also in their approaches, in their structures, this approach. And this is something that we consider very important, because all these thousands of students, hundreds of teachers are creating communities of practice, where we are testing this. They are co-creators, actually, of these approaches. Not only we are collaborating, but we are getting their feedback that I will demonstrate in a little while. So, in 2024, this approach was reviewed by external reviewers that were called from the European project Road Steamer, in order to test where it stands with specific STEAM criteria that this project has created. And you could see in this spider, hopefully you could see, I barely see it also, but yeah, okay. But this criteria had to do with, let's say, creativity, disciplinary, interdisciplinary relationship, collaboration, real-world connection, and so on. So we have created this a kind of questionnaire where the external reviewers, they had presented each initiative. One of these, it was the learning science through theater, following this STEAM approach, and according to what they have presented, they were reviewing in which level they consider this approach is dealing. So, of course, creativity has to do with the most important, let's say, criteria, because we consider as art and performing arts very, very much creative. As I told you at the beginning, we have created a certain approach in order to facilitate the schools to integrate this model within their settings. And the first step is what we call a self-reflection. So it is really needed in order the school unit to realize where they are standing concerning STEAM integration in their settings. So we have created a certain tool, we call it self-reflection tool for STEAM. You can find it in this link, and this should be the starting point because it gives the picture, the status and the picture of the school unit at that specific moment concerning specific criteria that we have created and test in order to give them this picture. And how this is working is that, if we go to the next, no. Yes, this is start working these are the main steps that the school needs to take. First, a self-reflection according to the questionnaire that exists. Then they are taking a specific report where they are indicating the status of the school, and according to the status of the school, they are getting strategies and recommendations on how they can be improved. And they are starting implementing activities, and at least after 6 months or better a school year, they are taking a second self-reflection in order to see if they have been improved in what they are doing concerning STEAM integration in their structures. So this is the main part of the tool. And according to what they achieve, they are, as we call it, we have 4 school typologies. So it is a school that might not have any plans or any structures already, or they have not started working with STEAM activities, so it considered as a starter. The second typology, we call it enabled, where the schools have started working with STEAM activities. They have started creating a specific plan on how to integrate STEAM activities. The third is the advanced, where the schools are already have a plan, they are following, they are doing things, they are start developing also the competencies of their teachers by providing them professional development opportunities and so on. And we have the master typology, school units where they could consider as great examples, and they could also facilitate, consult, and work with other schools around the community. So this is a 4-level, and according to what statements they will choose in this reflection, self-reflection activity, they are categorized in this. Actually, it is not an assessment. It is not an evaluation of a school, to be clear. It is just to realize their status. They are not included in any ranking around the country. It is only for them to start working and realizing it is a tool, actually, in order to manage their own structure in a better way, considering the integration of STEAM activities in their settings. So no issues of comparison between schools that if I am a starter, I'm a low achieving school. Nothing to do with that. Okay. As I told you, we have created specific strategies that are provided after this self-reflection procedure, specific strategies for each one of the typologies. So when they are getting the report, automatically they are getting specific strategies and recommended activities according to their level, because we cannot go to a starter school and start saying, okay, you are going to this to implement this activity that is considered that the teachers should be in the right way, let's say, will have the right competencies and so on. We are proposing activities from simple activities in STEM education to very complex, let's say, activities to STEAM education, while they are realizing activities with collaborations with research institutes, with, as I told you, with external stakeholders. It is specifically for the specific level of the school. And if you see down there, we are proposing the strategy, and we leave it open for the school leaders, to write their own activities, what they are considering that they need to plan for the next 6 at least months or a school year. So it is their own plan, and they need to follow it if they are agreed to follow this procedure. No, just, okay, yeah. And what we have done in the last years is that we have started implementing this and testing this in specific schools. It is not easy to test it in a large number of schools, at least at this point, when we were making this research effort. But we have 10 schools from 4 European countries. And that was within a project. We called it Next Step in STEAM Education. And we have included 10 schools from 4 countries, from Greece, Norway, Portugal, and Ireland, where we were testing this tool with these 10 schools. What we realized concerning the 2, let's say, measurements that we took before they start working with this approach and after, is that following this approach, it was a 16% improvement in their STEAM integration within the school. So this is very important. 16% is really a big number, actually, within a school year, when you are following this approach, and even if it is for the first time. At the same time, though, we were investigating how in these schools the students reacted concerning their motivation and interest in science and STEM. So we saw that also their interest and their motivation were raised. yes, these are some pictures that you can see in the links that I will present in the last slide. So as I have only 5 minutes left, now 4 maybe, we can, there are a lot of videos with performances where students are presenting their scientific notions on the stage after participating, because this initiative is lasting for almost all the school year, where the students are preparing their performance, and towards the end of the school year they are coming to a big event that we are organizing every year in order to present their work, their performance live on the stage, and they are awarded and so on. So I will skip. It is really interesting if you are really interested to start, let's say, to start working with all these STEAM recommendations and so on, to see this. It might be seems complex, but it is not. You can visit an interactive roadmap in the Road Steamer project, and you will find this roadmap where you could see what recommendations are for schools, for policymakers, institutions, and so on, to investigate how they are considering and what activities they are proposing. And I will end that with some interesting also for you, even far away, but it could be something like an opportunity, especially the coming up project that will last for 3 years, starting most probably in January, that we call STEAM Next Step Teachers Academy, where we are going to create an academy about STEAM, and every year we are going to support teachers, mainly from the countries represented, but of course beyond that we are open to collaborations, and every year we are going to organize courses and summer schools. If you can go. Oop. No. Anyway, it is going to be a big summer school in 2027 for this project. We have already organized as a test, let's say, summer school last July with 17 teachers from 5 countries. And here, yes, these are some photos. But in 2027 and 2028, we are going to organize a large-scale summer school with teachers. And of course, if we find the opportunity, it will be a pleasure to host also some of you there, and maybe continue exchanging ideas concerning STEAM education. I would like to thank you And you can ask me, I will be here both days. You can ask me anything you want and we can have a discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Menelaus, for the very informative plenary presentation. We will request you to stay on stage for our question and answer. For our viewers in the live stream, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box. For our on-site participants, if you have a question, please approach and use the microphone strategically located in the aisles. Please introduce yourself and your institution. If you wish to remain anonymous, you may write your question on a piece of paper and hand it to our ushers who are on either side of the venue. Our ushers will then give your questions to the moderator. Please keep your questions brief and focused on the topics covered in the presentation. We now open the floor for questions from our on-site participants. And while we are waiting for the first brave soul to stand and take the microphone, we had someone? Okay.
Magandang umaga po. Thank you for that wonderful presentation. I'm not going to line up for the summer school. I mean, if you give us a chance, we'd love to be part of the summer school. But actually, my question is about enabling environments for you to be able to do learning science through theater, because it's not something that we usually do here. I mean, we admitted that we are the science version of science, more on the science side than on the art side. So I was wondering whether there's an enabling environment in Greece or in Europe that could actually promote the embracing of arts into the sciences. Thank you.
When we started this initiative, it was really very hard because there is no enabling environment about it. But we started that initiative because we have, how I could call them, we have we had back then a small but very dedicated team of teachers with vision, insisting of doing activities out of their comfort zone. So we support them. We try to find ways with the Ministry of Education. We try to find ways with educational departments in universities in order to support this, and slowly it was developed. And right now we have every year more than 40 schools from several parts and regions of Greece participating, because I would not be, let's say, hiding this. It needs a lot of effort from both students and teachers. They are dedicating a lot of hours, maybe in most of the cases extra from the school hours, but they believe in it and they are convinced that this is a way that students could start developing their characters.
Thank you. Do we have questions from the floor? Dr. Roland, please.
Good morning. My name is Roland from the University of San Carlos. And my question is related towards providing strategies to these, because these are graduate students who are about to go back to their institutions. I'm sure they have a lot of initiatives, a lot of equally promising approaches together with the approach that you just mentioned. But the problem is, in our case, the sustainability of these programs, because, you know, when you start a program, an initiative, especially related towards faculty development, the main problem is really the funding. And as much as possible, they have funds from their scholarship that can somehow start the seed, but the problem is sustaining this. So could you perhaps, or maybe you could mention some strategies that these scholars could probably utilize in terms of developing some sort of strategies in acquiring funding? I know there are a lot of funding agencies, not just because we really have very little funding agencies in the Philippines. I saw a lot of funding agencies abroad in the US. We were also encouraged to do that. And the main challenge is to really come up with something that these funding agencies could really, you know, fund into and make these initiatives, you know, be sustainable. Like you mentioned, 2014 until 2025, we seldom have like a 2-year or a 3-year program that can sustain itself here in the Philippines. So more on strategies that you can give to these scholars for sustainability purposes. Thank you.
I would say that actually not knowing the structures of the country here, it might be difficult to advise in the best possible way. But I would say that in Greece, for sure, we do not have structures of funding the schools. We do not, as government funds. What we are trying to do is to facilitate, along with the funding that we get in order to organize all these activities and support teachers, to facilitate also schools to find funds from, for instance, Erasmus Plus program. This is a great tool for teachers and schools in general, that they could sustain activities that they are doing. Though in this initiative, schools are participating and they are not getting any funds. The teachers and the school is not paid in order to work with their students these extra hours. This is what we have achieved in order, and as I told earlier, that we have teachers that believe and try to accomplish their vision for this kind of education. The Ministry of Education in Greece, for instance, the last years, let's say 5 years, they have facilitate the schools and the teachers in a sense that within the official curriculum, they integrated specific periods, for instance, 2 hours per week, that they could work with their students in specific projects. This is one way. But they never fund any of these activities. The only funding that in Greece could get is from Erasmus Plus projects. And to this direction, we are trying to support the schools to to submit proposals in order to get the funding.
Thank you. I think we could accommodate one online question from our live stream viewers. If we have one question, which would be our last question for this first plenary session. We don't have.
Maybe we can...
We have one more from Dr. Josette, please, ma'am.
So I'm Josette Bio. I retired from the Science Education Institute and now a faculty of the West Visayas State University. From your presentation, I understand that other methods or approaches to teaching science are like learning science through theater. Are these enrichment activities that are not graded? I'm curious, how do you assess students' performance aside from self-reflection?
You mean concerning the students? We have a lot of data gathered concerning, and I just presented one of that part, concerning their motivation and interest. We have very limited data concerning the learning.
Okay.
Because it is very difficult to measure that in a certain year. It is complex, let's say, to measure because the students are not coming only from one classroom, one specific classroom. They could come from several classrooms within the same grade.
Okay.
So we did that as a testing with a specific school and a classroom, and we realized that they learn in a better way.
Okay.
But we cannot present that because it is not statistically, let's say, acceptable, because we have only one classroom. I mean, because you have to start working with the classroom, the group of students that are following this initiative, and the group of students that are not following, in order to realize which group is learning better the scientific issue. And that we did it with one group up to now, and we realized that yes, this is the case, that the group following the learning science through theater learn better the specific notion that they were working. But it is not secure to say that as a general result that this is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have one question from our live stream viewers. Is it possible that STEAM can be applied in the museum? So I think the museum as the venue for integrating.
Of course it is, and there are many activities that are right now are realized in especially science museums, where they have specific educators that are providing educational programs, and schools are visiting the science center or the science museum, and they are providing that. I think for a reference, it could be, as the person asked, it could visit 𝐒𝐜𝐻, which is the network of science museums and science centers, where they have a lot of resources on how to do these activities in these settings.
Thank you. And we reserve the last question for the SEI director.
I thought it was striking what you presented at the start of your presentation, the bit about the performance of Greece in PISA. I didn't realize that that was the case for Greece. Would you care to explain a little bit why that is the case for Greece? it's a question that I think matters to us Filipinos because for us, the problem is multi-layered. We have problem with malnutrition in the first 1,000 days. We have a problem with reading. We have a problem with the assessment itself. So multi-layered. I wonder what the problem is with Greece, a country with established education system, but also suffering like we are.
There are several, let's say, criticism in how the PISA exams are conducted. That's why I said that this might be not, let's say, a very realistic picture of the level that we stand as Greece. Might be the same here. But for instance, because there are several educational systems that at the same time take, and several countries that at the same time takes the same exams for PISA evaluation, is that in our case, the questions that exist in the PISA evaluation do not, most of the times, do not correspond to the chosen students' level and grades that are taking the exams. For instance, in mathematics. What I mean is that they have questions in mathematics that usually could be answered from, let's say, the 4th grade of high school. And we are selecting from the 2nd or the 3rd to take part, age-wise. This might be an explanation, but still, for me, whatever the explanations could be, it demonstrates an issue that we need somehow to cope with. For instance, that's why we are saying that interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary approaches, especially in mathematics and STEM, let's say, as the whole field, could solve much more of these issues. Because what we are proposing here is let's say, a transdisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach from the 1st grade of high school to the 2nd, without, let's say, only learn mathematics that any ministry thinks that in the 1st grade you have to learn up to that level, the 2nd grade continue, and so on. It could be let's say, a continuous learning approach across all disciplines from the beginning to the end. This is the approach that it is a model. You could refer to it as big ideas of science, if you search it, that provides this model. This could be, I think, an answer to these low achievements in PISA. Maybe.
So thank you very much, Mr. Menelaus, for providing us with wonderful insights
Thank you.
on the promotion of STEAM education through continuous and consistent efforts in communication, engagement, and policy. We invite you to kindly stay on the stage because we would present to you our certificate of appreciation. May I invite on stage the dashing director of the DOST Science Education Institute, Dr. 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧, to present the certificate and our token of appreciation to our first plenary speaker. Please allow me to read the certificate. The certificate of appreciation is presented to Mr. Menelaus Soteriou for for delivering a plenary talk entitled Promoting STEAM Education through Communication, Engagement, and Policy at the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education with the theme Community Engagement and Partnerships in STEAM Education, Strengthening Impact and Relevance, held on 16 and 17 October 2025 at Los Baños, Laguna, signed by the 11th NRC SME Conference Chair, Dr. Charisse Reyes, and the Director of DOST-SEI, Dr. 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐧. Photo op. May we invite the conference chair to join us for the photo op, please? Once again, a warm round of applause for Mr. Menelaos, and thank you, Doc Cha and Doc 𝐍𝐸. A heartfelt thank you to everyone who participated in the Q&A, both our on-site participants and our live stream viewers. Your thoughtful questions sparked a valuable dialogue and helped us to explore the important topic in greater depth. We truly appreciate all your contributions. And with that, we conclude our first plenary session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Menelaos for that insightful plenary talk about promoting STEAM education, urging dialogues and proactive participation by engaging in communities of practice. And we also extend a special thank you, of course, to Dr. Voltaire Mistades for excellently moderating the plenary session. Colleagues and friends, we'll have a 10-minute health break. Thank you very much.
From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. The enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades. Across all possible touch points. The enriching. The empowering. The eye-opening. The exciting. The inspiring. The groundbreaking. The supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades. Across all possible touch points. The enriching. The empowering. The eye-opening. The exciting. The inspiring. The groundbreaking. The supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades. Across all possible touch points. The enriching. The empowering. The eye-opening. The exciting. The inspiring. The groundbreaking. The supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. The enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. The enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. The enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop, a wave was born. And we at the DOST Science Education Institute believe that great things which benefit all begin with something just as humble. So in each of our pursuits, we look inward for specks of opportunities that can turn into a wave of difference. We seek the hearts of people. As the agency mandated to develop a critical pool of professionals in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we created ripples. Countless programs across 3.5 decades, across all possible touchpoints. The enriching, the empowering, the eye-opening, the exciting, the inspiring, the groundbreaking, the supportive, informative, and transformative. This is DOST-SEI, creating ripples, inspiring a tapestry of people toward transformations beyond science. From a small drop,
All right. Good morning once again, everyone. Now that our short break is over, before moving on to our second plenary session, kindly asking for your attention, please. Before moving on to our second plenary session, let us watch this video message of Dr. Renato U. Solidum Jr., Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, to inspire us further all throughout this conference.
Disaster preparedness, promoting climate resilience, or encouraging innovation in the digital age. Embedding STEM in real-life contexts strengthens both knowledge and national capacity. Equally important are partnerships. No institution, no matter how capable, can advance STEM education alone. When universities, research institutions, government agencies, the private sector, and communities work together, we amplify our reach, optimize resources, and accelerate the translation of research into meaningful action. Strong partnerships prevent redundancy, promote synergy, and ensure that innovations are inclusive, scalable, and sustainable. At DOST, we remain steadfast in our mission to harness science for national development. We support programs that not only build the technical competence of our science and mathematics educators and scholars, but also cultivate their sense of mission, equity, and public service. In today's complex world, we need leaders who are not just knowledgeable, but socially engaged, educators who empower, not just instruct. Conferences like this are crucial opportunities to realign our collective efforts, to celebrate how far we've come, and to reimagine what more we can achieve. Together, I encourage all participants to make the most of this moment. Exchange ideas, challenge assumptions, build networks, and develop actionable solutions. May your discussions here serve as seeds for stronger programs, deeper collaborations, and lasting innovations that will transform the landscape of STEM education in the Philippines. In closing, let us remember that the true impact of our work lies in its lasting influence, empowering learners, strengthening communities, and helping our nation thrive through science-based solutions. Let us continue working toward our shared vision of Agham Naramdam, science that is felt, lived, and valued by every Filipino. Let your brand of science and mathematics education become your legacy, one that prepares our youth not just to succeed, but to lead. Together, let us uphold STEM education as a powerful force for shaping a brighter and more progressive nation. Maraming salamat po. Isang
Thank you very much, Dr. Renato U. Saludun Jr., for that wonderful message. Now, we move on to our second plenary session. It is my pleasure to call on stage the moderator for this session, Dr. Melanie G. Gorat. Dr. Gorat is the University Research Director of St. Mary's University and the Project Director of the Capacity Building Program in Science and Mathematics Education. Let's give her a warm round of applause.
Good morning. It is my distinct honor to introduce our second plenary speaker, Dr. Tommy Tanu Wijaya. Dr. Tommy Tanu Wijaya is an assistant professor at the Beijing Normal University. He has extensive work on the impact of new technologies in furthering knowledge of mathematics in particular and science in general. He has participated as keynote speaker and as a member of scientific and organizing committee of several international conferences and associations. He has served more than 45 reviews in a wide range of international journals. He has the experience and interest in developing technology-based learning media. One of them is a micro-lectures and digital textbooks. His expertise in STEM education within Asia will broaden our educators' perspective and enrich their approaches toward an impactful STEM education. Let us all welcome Dr. Tommy Tanu Wijaya.
Okay, good morning for all experts, professor, and participants in this conference. First of all, thank you so much for Dinta, for Dennis, and all organizers to inviting me to attend this conference and give me nice opportunities to share with you about my research. Yeah, and this is the first time for me to come to Philippines, and I have a nice new experience, and also learn new Philippine language like selamat, selamat everyone. Okay, okay, let's start to our sharing section about the forwarding STEM education through AI technologies and new platform. I hope my sharing today is more practical, so you guys as the front line of teachers can use this practical these practical ways or approach to see how to teach STEAM education in your school. Okay, next. So we start from why STEM education matter, why STEM education is important. Let's imagine an elementary student, maybe name is Siti, and she loves to ask questions like, why does the rainbow appears? And how do bridges stay strong? So you can see here the STEM education actually helps students like Siti in here to find answer through curiosity, thinking, and doing research. Yeah, and next, we can see why STEM education matters. There's like years later, education around the world, yes, started to realize something important. What is important? What is important? Students learn more when they explore, when they experiment, and connect the knowledge to their real life. Yeah, and they notice that science alone cannot solve big problem. You can see about the futures. You can see about the mathematics and science and technology cannot solve big problem alone. So we need to combine it. And then you can see the technology alone cannot help people. So the engineering cannot build a safe world alone. And the last is the mathematics. Mathematics alone cannot make decision. That's just mathematics, just about the number, just like the theory, right? So we need to combine it to solve the big problem, to solve the real world problem, right? Next, and then when all four come together, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, students start to understand the world deeply and create new solutions. So you can see here, when we use STEM education, there is a change of approach of teaching and learning activities in class. Yeah, before is just one direction from teachers to student. And now when we use STEAM education, there is two ways, from teachers to student, student to teachers, and student to student. Okay, so it was created because teachers and scientists want students to think like a problem solver. So we start earlier. We start from elementary student, elementary level, and the secondary level to improve the student problem solving. So not just take test taker, just to remember and understanding the courses, the formula, and then take examination. So the STEM education changed it. So they want child like Siti to be free to ask why and what if. And can I try to, they will do the experience by their own. Okay, next. So the next is I want to sharing with you about the STEM education before AI. So you can see before the rise of AI, artificial intelligence, STEM education focused mainly on traditional experiment, like to build a bridge from the sticks maybe, or do some simple experiments in the classroom, right? And there is a direct instruction from the teachers to student, as I said before, and STEM education before AI is like we always use project-based learning. We give a project to student and student do the experiment with the small groups and then to presentate what they found in the experiment, right? And then we can see the teachers rely to the physical tools and textbook to teach this STEM education, like how to combine the science and mathematics concept here. And where students learn how to observe and calculate, their learning process was often slow and limited by resources. This challenge same with my country in Indonesia. Like there is a limited resource for do this STEM education before AI. Yeah. So what is the role of AI right now? Okay. We next. So we can see here that STEM education before AI, we can see that the teacher faces many challenges. The first is you can see there is the teachers need to prepare lesson took much time. They don't know how to implement it, how to implementing this STEM education in the classroom. So they need to preparing lesson plan, right? And the second is the student found it hard to connect abstract theory to the real problem. Yeah, you can see that the student, when they doing the experiments, sometimes student a little bit confused. How is the purpose of do this experiment? Yeah, student found it hard to connect the abstract with the real problem. And the next is the technology used was minimal. Yeah, as like I said before AI, before technology, STEM education just like to with the traditional resources to do STEM education, to do STEM experiment. Yeah. And then many teachers feel confused about how to combine this science and technology and engineering and mathematics to one lesson because resources were uneven and the training was limited. Okay, that's why. So that's why the organizer invited me to sharing with you about how about Indonesia, how about Indonesia and how about China. Now about the sharing about the STEM education in Indonesia and in China right now. So next, this is the STEM education after AI era. We can see this is the STEM education with the AI era in China. You can see there are many AI tools you can save. You can take a photo for this table. You can see these AI tools show strong potential in information filtering and matching with the personalized recommendation and solving mathematics problem. So you can see the type of AI tools. There is many type of AI tools we can use for your STEM education. Yeah, the first is the chatbot like ChatGPT. Yeah, and in China we use domestic AI tools like DeepSeek. If you heard about this before, the DeepSeek, and then the Tencent and Taobao and Kimi. Yeah, and in international tools we have ChatGPT, Gemini, and another AI tools, right? And the second is how if you want to create it image generation for your STEM education. You can also use ChatGPT or Midjourney, yeah, and then the stable diffusion for the apps for support your STEM education, teaching and learning activities. And also you can use audio tools, video generation for your STEM education, and search tools like many. Okay, so next, STEAM education after AI, you need to know about this, like learning with AI, not from AI. You need to remember this, learning with AI, not from AI. In this era, in this AI era, AI does not replace teachers or students when you combine it with STEM education. Instead, it works together with them. So in this era, in AI era, we encourage you, support you to use ChatGPT, to use 𝐿𝐼, to use DeepSeek or another AI tools to support your STEAM education. So in China and Indonesia, the school and the government already support us as teachers and university teachers and lecturers, professors to support all students to use AI tools for support STEAM education. So just give this word LLM. Just give the ChatGPT to student, and then just give student to give the project. Let them explore STEM education. Let them explore the idea with ChatGPT. What real problem student want to solve with ChatGPT. We in China and Indonesia already implemented that way to teaching and learning activities there, and you can see students use AI to test idea before they build something. So there is a change before and after AI. Before AI, the experiment idea from teachers, right? Okay, student, okay, child, okay, everyone. Today, we want to build a bridge with a stick. And every student use stick for build the bridge, right? So this is the difference. After AI, we can use this. We encourage you to use this STEM education. Let students use AI or ChatGPT to explore to explore student idea, and then let them ask to teachers, "Can I do this experience? Can I do this experiment? Can I know this with?" It's possible if I do these experiments. Let us do that to our student, right? And then the teachers also can use AI to design lesson faster and more clearly. So you see, before AI, the teachers have this challenge for what? For design a lesson plan to implement STEM education in the classroom. Let ChatGPT or let AI helps teachers to do this. But you can see the AI will give a feedback, but the teacher gives the wisdom. Okay, so next is this is the important teachers. This is the important study before about what factors affecting teacher satisfaction with STEM education. So if here the participant there is maybe a dean or the university can make a decision for how to improve the teacher satisfaction or to behavior intention to teacher to use STEM education and at their classes. So I will to text you. I will to sharing with you about this. What is the factors next? What is the factors influencing student satisfaction towards STEM education? What student looks and what student want? What student want in the STEM education? If the student satisfaction with STEM education, I believe that implementation of STEM education in the school will be success. I believe. So this is the one paper in Scopus Q1. The one paper is Scopus Q1. You can see or you can analyze. You can analyze how is about the factors influence student satisfaction in China. This is the participant of this study is in China. Yeah. So or you also can do the same in Filipina for maybe for your thesis or dissertation. This is a new idea. Yeah. Just what? Just modify modify the theory here, or just modify with the Philippine context, or just modify the participant. Yeah. So you will find a different finding. For the Philippine context, right? So next, so this is the final model. This is the final model for what factors or what determinant is in the effective influence student satisfaction towards STEM education. You can see this in this study. I used two theory. Yeah, TPB theory. You can see there is many factors or many predictors or many determinant to improve the satisfaction towards STEM education. So you can see the perceived usefulness, maybe the perceived usefulness can improve the student satisfaction on STEM education, and maybe the convenience, the easy of use of STEM education will improve. Yeah, the easy of use of the experiment will improve the student satisfaction in STEM education, or maybe the school facilitating condition will be improved the student satisfaction, or maybe the subjective norm. This subjective norm is like the teacher support and peer support to learn with STEM education. And also we know STEM education is like a collaborative learning. There is not the personal, but there is a small group to do the experiment, right? So I think the collaborative learning in STEM education will improve the student attitude towards STEM education, and will have a significant correlation with the satisfaction towards STEM education. And the last factors and the last predictors is the playfulness of STEM education. Will be improved the student attitude toward the STEM education, and the last will improve the student satisfaction towards STEM education. But you can see here there is a 3 stars. There is three stars with numbers. There is a beta. You can see there is what we call this with the significant. There is a significant correlation with between the construct. So you can see among these predictors there is just what? There is just 3. There is just 3 constructs. There is three predictors that will affect affect student attitude towards STEM education, and then the student attitude towards STEM education will improve student satisfaction. What is 3 construct? What is the 3 prediction? You can see this. The first is the subjective norm. What is mean that if the teachers encourage students to use STEM education for do the experiment to the class, right, with AI, right, with the technology, then the student attitude towards STEM education will be improved. And then the second is the student, what factors significant influence student attitude towards STEM education is the student looks the STEM education is the collaborative learning. Elementary school student and the secondary school student is love to collaboration with each other. So with this approach we can improve student attitude towards STEM education. And then the attitude will improve the student satisfaction. So when we want to make the STEM education successfully implemented in the school, maybe I have a small recommendation or suggest like to look at here, like look at the study, at the theory, right? Okay, next. So how to improve teacher use STEM education? This is just my sharing. This is just my experience. Next. To design STEM lesson with the ChatGPT. This is the practical, very simple and practical ways for the frontline teachers, how to design STEM lesson with ChatGPT. Next. So there is the 5 step, the simple step, just the simple step. There is no the many theoretical implication here. Just the practical you can do in the classroom is the first is define the learning goal. Maybe you can find the learning goal from the curriculum in Philippines, or maybe the purpose in the learning goal in your school, right? And define the learning goal. What do you want to improve? The student ability. Maybe you want to improve student critical thinking, or student collaboration ability, or you want to improve student problem solving ability, or another ability. And in Indonesia, we focus on the deep learning, how to improve the student deep learning with the STEM education. I think Philippines also have a different purpose. What learning goal the student need to reach that, teachers need to reach that. Okay, and the second step is to ask ChatGPT to help design 5E lesson plan. This 5E lesson plan also the very simple approach or teaching and learning activities like engage, how to engage, what is the explore pace, and then what is the explain pace, what students do in the engage pace and the explore pace and the explain pace, and then the next is how to elaborate and how to evaluate the STEM education, the experiment in the classroom. Okay, after the second step is ask ChatGPT, and the step 3 is to generate interdisciplinary project ideas. So maybe for the first one, for the starter, you can combine two courses like mathematics in science or mathematics with technology. You can start with two courses, two fields, right? And then if you think there is a possible, you can combine 3, maybe mathematics and science with technology. How to combine it? You can discuss with the ChatGPT. It's okay. Okay. So the next step is ask for student tasks and rubrics. This is teachers can ask ChatGPT what student tasks or rubrics we need in this classroom, in this STEM education experiment. Okay, then the last step is integrate AI into student inquiry. This we encourage you always to teachers to use ChatGPT and students to integrate AI ChatGPT into student inquiry, to student explore about their idea. That's the key. Yeah, to encourage teacher and student use ChatGPT, or maybe Gemini or another AI tools. It's okay. Okay, next. So this is the benefit for teachers. You can see after AI, after use ChatGPT, maybe teachers will save time to design this lesson planning, right? Yeah, and then the second is this. What STEM education activity, yeah, will be in the project design and will be improve the creativity of this project, STEM project. And the third is will be, you can see, you will be the promote the collaboration among teacher and student. Yeah, and then will be increase the confidence to using AI and technology meaningfully. Okay, okay, next. But before a student and teachers use ChatGPT and another AI tools, you need to aware this. You need to know this, the ethics of use AI and what is you need to know. The first is always review the answer of ChatGPT. Yeah, always review AI generated content for the accuracy, whether the AI, whether the GPT answer is fit with your lesson plan, or whether the ChatGPT fit with your learning goals. Yeah, we need to tell students, we need to tell teachers, yeah, how to use ChatGPT, how the best way to use ChatGPT, when we need, and how to the best way to use GPT. Okay, and the second is please avoid just copying the AI answer. This is please don't avoid to copying directly. Just use as inspiration, just to brainstorm the idea. And you need to have the critical thinking ability for improve the answer of ChatGPT. So please don't avoid to copying the AI answer. Okay. And then the teacher task is to teach students to think, not just copy AI answer. This is maybe a little bit challenging for the starter, but I think student will know why the teachers need to tell student why we cannot just copy the AI answer, right? Because maybe you can tell student the AI answer is not correct, or maybe we need to think again whether the context is same with the Philippines, because you can see that when we use ChatGPT, the context or the developer is from US, right? So maybe the context is very different with us in Asia. So that's why teach students to think, not just copy AI answer. Okay, so next, this is the summary that ChatGPT is not here to replace your creativity. It is here to extend it, to collaborate, to improve your idea, to give you a chance or opportunities to brainstorming. Yeah, when you ask the right question to ChatGPT, it becomes your planning partner. Yeah, and your brainstorming friend, and your reflective mirror. Yeah, this is the summary. Next, so this is another paper. This is another paper from Scopus Q1. You can see this is also the predicting factors influence pre-service teachers' behavior intention to implementation STEAM education using this is just the methodology using the partial least square structural equation modeling. So just focus on the what predictors is influencing pre-service teachers' behavior intention to implementation this STEAM education. This also the idea for you the university or the government to how to improve the implementation, the successfully of implementation in STEAM education in the school. So you can see here, next, this is the pre-service teacher practice in STEAM education in school before. So because this paper is to 2021. This STEM education is before AI. You can see this just the traditional, just use traditional method to implement this STEM education. But there is not the focus. The focus is how to improve. What is the predictor to improve behavior intention to implementation STEM education in teachers behavior intention to implementation this STEM education, right? So next. So this is the last. You can see this is what factors affect pre-service teachers' behavior intention to use STEAM education, to use STEAM learning. You can see we use the UTA-UT framework, UTA-UT theory, and technology acceptance model theory. Here you can see the predictors maybe is the habit, and then the perceive of useful, and then the innovation of STEAM education. And then you can see knowledge of STEAM teaching and value of STEAM education will be improved the teachers will be improved the pre-service teachers' attitude towards STEAM education. And then the value of STEAM teaching also will significantly improve the perceived behavior control in STEAM teaching. And you can see you can see here the interesting finding is habit have a significant correlation with teachers' behavior intention to use STEAM education. What it means that when teachers think that STEAM education is a habit, they think that this STEAM education as a habit or teaching and learning activities in the classroom, they will be improve the behavior intention to use STEAM teaching. Yeah, and also this subjective norm. Oh no, the subjective norm. There is no significant correlation with behavior intention. What it means that school support or government support is not. There is no significant correlation with teachers to use STEAM education in the classroom. What it means that maybe in school your school will come on use STEAM education, implemented it in your classroom. There is no significant with teacher will not use STEM education, and maybe the STEAM education the implementation of STEAM education is not maximal. Okay, and the last factors is innovation. Same with the finding with the what factors affect student satisfaction is the innovation of STEM education. It's also same with what factors influence teachers' behavior intention to use STEM education is because teachers found that this approach, the teaching and learning activities, have an innovation. There is something new. This will significantly improve their behavior intention to use STEAM teaching. Okay, maybe this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. I hope this presentation, my idea give you a practical recommendation or insight for how to use or how to implement this STEM education in your classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wijaya, for that very informative plenary talk. Indeed, I agree with your statement that it's learning with AI, not from AI. May we ask you to remain on stage as we are now opening the floor for questions. For our viewers on the live stream, feel free to type your questions in the chat box. To our on-site participants, if you have questions, please approach and use the microphones located strategically in the aisles. Please introduce yourself and your institution. If you wish to remain anonymous, you may write your question on a piece of paper and hand it to our ushers who are located on either side of the venue. Our ushers will then give your question to the moderator. Please keep your questions brief and focus on the topics covered in the presentation. So perhaps some would like to ask. Okay, if
Hello.
I may, yes, sir?
All right. Good morning to everyone. I'd like to first introduce myself. My name po is Elmer Cuevas. I came from Central Luzon State University. First and foremost, sir, I'm very thankful with your presentation, the information you have shared with us. I'm very focused with this one since this is also related to my research. My research on pre-service science teachers found a notable readiness of the students for AI integration, but a somewhat conservative acceptance of these technologies in the classroom. Primarily, probably stemming from their concerns regarding security and ethical implications like algorithm bias, concerns with accuracy of the contents, and definitely, but for more context po, they have seen its benefits in science education. Now, given your talk on forwarding STEM education through AI and new platforms, what are the most immediate and effective strategies that teacher education programs and platform developers can implement to proactively address these ethical and security anxieties and build the necessary trust to move beyond readiness and toward enthusiastic, informed adoption of AI in science education?
Thank you for your question, sir. May we now listen to Dr. Wijaya for the response.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. This is the good question. How to collaborate the teachers and the developer with this concern about the safety, right? So the answer is like I said before, always not copying or just don't give your sensitive data to the ChatGPT or another AI. Yeah, so just keep your data safe. And the second is maybe the developer like ChatGPT or another AI tools developer cannot solve this about the our private data, right? So we just the possible way just to save by us, like not to give the privacy data to the AI tools, and please don't copy and don't paste the AI answer directly, and please always improve, always integrate, always collaborate or engage the AI answer. Maybe that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. If you may allow me, can I provide you with a follow-up question for that? Using ChatGPT or any other generative AI tool, for instance, in creating textbooks, is indeed very helpful. However, what is your stand regarding the copyright of the AI-generated content? would this not be considered AI-gerism or plagiarism? Do you think this practice is ethical?
Okay, so this also I already mentioned about that. The ChatGPT or AI tools just to help us, to give us opportunities to brainstorm our ideas. So not copy, just improve the AI answer, and there is no this challenge. There is no this problem again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that enlightening response. We still have time for other questions. Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. I am Roberto G. Sai Jr. from West Visayas State University. It is very interesting to see those models, but is it required to show those factors that are not correlated in the final model, or shall we remove them?
Okay, this is the okay. Thank you. So because this is so because this is maybe just like my style to write the Scopus Q1. That is my writing article style. But I as an editor or the reviewer more like to explain wall of the research model. What is significant? There is what is not significant and why. Because we need to explain why there is not significant. So that's why the figures need to figure it. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to ask one more question?
Maybe we can discuss after this in last time.
So, sir, will entertain other questions later.
Yeah.
Sir Robredo.
Good morning. I'm actually very interested in the way you investigated, because you used the model of UPOU, acceptance theory, TAM, and all of that.
Yes.
We also had a similar study asking about the teacher's perception and self-efficacy towards use of generative AI in generating lesson plans. And one of the findings that we saw is that the major problems with the teachers, not the familiarity of the tools, not the availability of the tools. They've been using that, but the problem is really the prompting.
Prompting, yes.
Yes. So were there any findings in your study that also pointed out to the issue on teachers not knowing how to do the prompting with AI? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I already aware about the effect or what the significant effect of the prompting with the AI tools and the effect and the effect to the AI answer. So in our study, I am not mention about this about because the focus of in this study just to see about what student satisfaction to STEM education. There is no AI there, but yes, I agree with you about the prompt to the AI will affect the answer of AI. So maybe if you have this study and we can continue to discuss after this conference. I also interesting with your study about the effect of prompt and the answer of ChatGPT and the student efficacy, right? Okay, thank you so much.
I have one more question coming from our audience online. So allow me to read it. How will you let other educators accept the use of AI in teaching and learning process?
How to relate?
How will you let other educators accept the use of AI in teaching and learning process?
Okay, how to maybe this have a correlation with the school and the government will be affect the teachers to use this STEM education. So I don't know how is what is the role or what is the Philippine policy about the STEM education, but I think there is a significant correlation with the school and the government. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope our participant online already have the answer. So thank you, Dr. Wijaya, for the exceptional plenary talk. So you have provided us with many insights on many ways of forwarding STEM education through AI technologies and new platform. So we would like to invite Dr. Jail, our Director of the DOST Science Education Institute, and Dean Cha. So allow me to read the certificate's content. So this certificate of appreciation is presented to Dr. Tommy Tanu Wijaya for delivering a plenary talk entitled Forwarding STEM Education through AI Technologies and New Platforms at the 11th National Research Conference in Science and Mathematics Education 2025 with the theme Community Engagement and Partnership in STEM Education, Strengthening Impact and Relevance, held on 16 to 17 October 2025 at Los Baños, Laguna, Philippines. Signed by the 11th NRCM Conference Chair, Dr. Chariste Reyes, and Director of DOST-SEI, Dr. Jail S. Cornelio. And a heartfelt thank you to everyone who participated in the question and answer, both to our on-site participant and live stream viewers. So your thoughtful questions spark a valuable dialogue and help us explore these important topics in greater depth. We truly appreciate your contributions. That concludes our second plenary session. Thank you.
Tanu Wijaya for that insightful plenary talk, drawing us back to the human connection we have with and in the world, which is at the core of STEAM education. Technology as complementary rather than supplementary to all of the process of education. And of course, our special thanks also to Dr. Melanie Gurat for moderating the plenary session.
This ends the morning session of day 1 of the 11th NRC SME. Once again, thank you to all of our speakers and moderators for our productive and insightful morning plenary sessions. We would also like to thank the organizer of this event, the Department of Science and Technology, Science Education Institute, the National Consortium in Graduate Science and Mathematics Education, as well as our partner universities, the Ateneo de Manila University, University of the Philippines Diliman College of Education, and University of the Philippines Open University. We would also like to thank our generous partners in making this conference possible. International Rice Research Institute, Philippine Science High School Office of the Executive Director, Philippine Science High School Calabarzon Region Campus, Philippine Science High School Central Luzon Campus, Southeast Asian Regional Center for Graduate Study and Research in Agriculture. We would also like to thank all of our viewers online for joining us in the morning session of day 1 of the 11th NRC SME. We hope to see you again later in the afternoon. Goodbye for now.